Hey guys, Frog here. Before we start the show, we actually have a Discord server now, if you want to join. Link is probably in the description. I assume Mike's going to do that for us. And yeah, we can just use it to talk to you guys. You can answer questions, just discuss what we talked in the show in general, and just anime and video games and all that fun stuff. So if you want to come by, and it'll be fun. Thanks. Nice.
All right. So, guys, I want to tell you I went ahead, and I did both the dumbest and most entertaining thing I've done in a while.
Do tell.
We decided to go see Toy Story on an opening weekend. Mm-hmm. And we thought we'd be smart, we'd beat the crowd, we'd beat the kids, something, by going ahead and seeing it at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, because we figure most kids are going to go to bed. Nobody's going to be awake to see Toy Story. Yeah. So, turns out people are asleep, but it ain't the kids, it's the parents. So we go to see Toy Story, and we have assigned seating. It's a pretty big movie theater, but we got assigned seating. We're in the divider row, so we can kick our feet up. Life is great, and we just got like the walkway between us. And families start sitting down with their kids, and kids can't count, so it's assigned seating. So we get to our seats, and immediately there's just two kids, can't count, don't know their letters, are sitting in our seats. And I'm like, so this is dumb, but what's dumber is like, where are the parents, right? Mm-hmm. No, just none of this. So we kick the kids out and we sit down, and about 5 minutes into the theater, I realize I have one of those children that I'm sitting next to. Mm-hmm. My wife's in the clear. She's got like a well-behaved little 7-year-old who looked at her once to like smile, just be like, I'm going to see Toy Story. But I have this kid that I couldn't quite figure out his age, because maybe he was 6, but if he was 6, he was really tall for a 6-year-old. The only way I could really define this kid is like a Fortnite child.
Oh Lord!
And he's this like maybe 6-year-old kid who's, I think he was the oldest of the kids or something. Like, so maybe he was 8 or 9. I can't gauge kids' ages, much less in the dark. But like every time something happened in this movie, this 6-year-old kid would just go, "Bruh!" at the top of his lungs. Just scared the ever-living daylights out of me at one point, because there's actually like a couple, if you guys haven't seen it yet, there's a couple of actually creepy scenes in this movie.
Are you sure that wasn't just me in the back row?
Yeah.
No, because I like looked over one of the times because I knew he was going to do it, and this kid is just like, bro.
You just look over at this kid. He's got a snapback on. It's pulled to the back, sunglasses, and he's just fucking flossing, going, bruh.
Maybe it's just, well, the thing is, I could tell he was like the example to the other children, because there was like another kid immediately right next to him who would mimic him perfectly. So like he'd yell "brah," and then the kid next to him was like "brah, brah, brah."
So you were sitting next to the alpha child.
He was leading the alpha child.
But yeah, it's just this, and I'm wondering like, where is the parents? Like, where is this? And then like another 20 minutes into the movie, we suddenly just start hearing snoring to my right, like loud, like sleep apnea level snoring. And I finally just like break away to lean forward and look. They got their father, because these are reclining seats. They got their father, and he's just dead to the world, just blacked out. Like, the TV is your parent now, kids. Dead during this movie. And so I got Timmy Tardo and his little brother. They're just bruh, 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 every like couple minutes without fail. It's already bad enough that we got like little kids like running up and down the aisles and whatnot every couple. Like, do these parents just leave their kids so they can head to Dave and Buster's and get drunk? Like, I got no understanding of what's going on here. But that was my Toy Story 4 experience. Is just, it was the most entertaining I've ever seen, and I'm glad, because that movie sucked. But like, that was just
all right,
weird,
bruh.
So the lore is settled. I hate fat people, and therefore myself. And Moth hates children.
Oh,
what demographic do you hate the most, Frog?
Oh, Jesus, women.
What? You hate women? That secretly means you want to be one.
Nah, I'm just a gamer.
No, I don't hate children. I used to for a long time.
I fucking hate them.
And then I like looked at the birth rates in pretty much every developed country, and I was like, oh, I guess children really are precious at this point because they're more rare than diamonds. Like, holy crap.
And they're worth about as much, too.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, like on the black market, their livers and their kidneys.
Oh, not to even mention the gray market.
Mm.
The gray market is just, they sell kids that if they don't like the kidneys, they give them back and then they turn their parents.
No,
They sell like half a
the
kid.
gray market's like an actual thing. It's like, it's the specifically like...
The government?
No, that would
Gray
be...
market.
That'd be
Government run
wild.
foster cares?
No, it's like semi-legal people selling their parts willingly.
Semi-legal
that's-
people.
No, that's fine. Like, kids do that for V-Bucks all the time.
Oh, I'm sure. Can't get enough.
I sold my kidney for some Robux.
You know, you joke about that, but I actually, like, avidly remember at one point when I didn't have a gaming PC and I was, like, 16 years old and I was like, how much can I get for this kidney?
Oh, God.
And this is depressing because this is the era where having 128 megabytes of RAM or, like, VRAM for your video card was, like, mind-boggling.
500 megabytes
No,
That's a lot.
128 megabytes.
of storage capacity.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about because, like, I just remember when Doom set the new standard.
Yeah.
But that's for another time. Hello, everybody. This is We Hate Anime, the podcast. I'm joined here with English Mike. That is English Mike.
It is Engrish Mike, sir. My name is
And,
Annie Mikety.
The Frappity Froggity Froob Frog. Frog King.
That's one way to say it.
Yep. And I myself am the Moth Man, so let's continue. Toy Story 4 sucked.
Really?
I can't agree or disagree.
Oh, wait, you haven't seen it?
Oh, I know. I don't care about Toy Story anymore, man. I haven't cared since the second one.
I
Okay,
was
okay.
planning to go see it today, but waiting on someone to show up with rent money, I didn't want to leave the house, so I
Valid.
didn't go see it.
So, all right. So, have you guys? I guess Frog hasn't. But Mike, you saw the third one, right?
I have seen the third one, actually.
I've seen the third one. I've seen even some of the shorts. I love Toy Story.
Okay. So, I went into this movie prepped. Like, I was excited because I remember the third movie is the only time in recent memory I could think of where I cried like a little girl in a movie. And, like, I remember I was in Germany at the time with my buddy, and, like, I barely spoke German, and I saw this movie. Pixar had a way. I'm not going to say has. They had a way to convey emotion that, like, transcended language barriers. Because that scene where they're all going in that trash-compacting molten hellhole, like a black star collapsing on them.
They have, like every movie they have something like that.
They
Yeah,
do.
but it was, I remember crying. And, like, it was the same thing. Like, I saw the movie Up when I was doing my out-processing paperwork in the Air Force. You had a bunch of, like, grizzled men who had gone through divorces, who, like, some of them were missing fingers, and I'm sitting here doing this out-processing with these guys, and Up comes on. And I'm in a room with some of these men I know have taken a life. And I'm watching Up, and the first 10 minutes of that movie plays right as I sit down. And we're watching it, and I look around, and these 38-year-old, 42-year-old, some of these guys are in their 50s, like, just rugged men are just sobbing profusely. And
I firmly believe that every piece of media has like an intended audience and then a secret intended audience. And
yeah, like My Little Pony.
Exactly, you know, little girls and also men who want to be little girls.
Yeah, and just gosh dang it, Equinophiles, that one.
Oh,
Yeah, equine.
Yeah, Equinius.
I have
yeah,
no idea.
Equinum.
I've seen too many pony thread simulators to be comfortable in this conversation.
No, I had like 3 because I speak German, so I had like 3 terms for horse go through my mind before I got like what was probably the scientific term out. So I was like horsophile, ferrophile, and I was like, what am I thinking of here? I'm like, oh, an equinophile. So I need you, Mike, to edit the audio so I look really witty, like real fast. Like I just drop equinophile real fast.
Okay, I will do my best to make you look as good or as bad as possible.
Thank you. I would appreciate either. So, sorry, we're getting distracted. So, Pixar had the ability to make people cry. I firmly believe that. Like, they had the ability to tap your emotions no matter what. And to be honest, in Toy Story 4, there were some good scenes. And I'm going to drop some spoilers here. If you get spoiled by a kid's movie, I'm going to slap the ever-living daylights out of you.
I don't care.
But there's a point where Woody and Bo Peep get reunited with
I heard about
children holding their hands. Like, so a child has each of them held up, and the toy law is if a kid can see you, you got to stop moving. He's looking at Bo Peep, and she's looking at him, and they haven't even really noticed each other yet. And they bring the basically the toys together because he's a cowboy and she's a sheep lady, a shepherd. A shepherdess? And I don't know if there's a masculine and a feminine term for a shepherd.
Let's not bring monster girls into this conversation.
A sheep herdess?
A sheephard.
A sheephard.
Is a
sheephard.
Is a sheephard just someone who heard sheep with their guitar?
All right, so it shows them. Yeah, I was trying to think of a pun to save it, and I just couldn't. I was like, "Are we fleece falling?" Like,
so the shepherdess. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Woody and Bo Peep, they're staring at each other, and you can see a bunch of conveyed emotion that isn't there because it's a lifeless doll face. Mm-hmm. And they did that really well. They did a scene where Woody is walking with a fork down the road, and they're having a conversation, and they keep like fast forwarding the conversation for a bit. They have a lot of really good scenes right off the bat. And I almost feel like this movie was kind of got the Atlantis treatment, where I feel like I'm watching two separate movies and I'm not watching one movie. Like Atlantis, the first hour or 45 minutes or 50 minutes of Atlantis is phenomenal. Like
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Atlantis, the Lost City.
Oh,
the Lego Atlantis one. That movie rocks.
I'm gonna slap you. No. But like the first 45 minutes, where it's a very steampunk, like
yeah,
and even when they're in the tunnels, it's amazing. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh boy, we gotta save the world for unknown reasons.
Save the whales with our gay energy sticks.
Yeah, something like that. By the way, man, let's not be homophobic here. Come on.
Hey, as long as I would as happily have a dick in my mouth as I would a vagina, I can say gay. I have the gay card.
Oh, good. So I think Frog is the only one of us who doesn't.
Yep.
So,
that's our word,
I've been teetering off the fucking edge for like 8 years.
The only word
you really are a true gamer.
Yeah.
The only word he can say is retard.
No, so it's just it had a lot of things that showed me that there was somebody at Pixar who's like trapped in a closet and is just like screaming good ideas from the muffled broom closet. Like, somewhere it's like, guys, you should add a heartfelt scene with reuniting. But then like the Coke head is in front of the microphone, and the Coke head's like, you know what did really well with Rio? When they had those talking dogs. Really obnoxious talking dogs that don't actually appeal to anything. And then they went ahead and put that in Toy Story 4 in the form of two puppets, or two stuffed animals that are linked at the hand.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, all the charm and the magic and the wonder of Pixar is
played by Key and Peele, if I'm remembering correctly.
Wait, Key and Peele did Rio, or Key and Peele did Toy Story?
Key and Peele were the voices of the two stuffed animals, if I'm remembering right.
Right, and Key and Peele is absurdly funny. Like, I can't remember if it was Peele who did the recent Predator movie, but like, they are insanely funny, but they are not for a movie that I hold higher standards. Like, when you have those two characters, or even that one character, like Olaf from Frozen, that is a character that you put in there because you don't have faith in your movie. And so you're just trying to get, like, something that kids will laugh at. And sure enough, every time those two guys were on set, I just heard a kid scream, "Bro!" right next to me. So that right there, that was my dowsing rod for adolescent stupidity. Is just, oh boy, the two birds are on picture, or the bird and the bunny are on picture again. Up, the kid said, "Bruh," right there, waiting for it. Yep, this is definitely those characters. They are the dogs from Rio. Wonderful.
Oh my god, I can't believe
you literally had like, anytime something stupid and childish happened on screen, you had something tapping a nerve.
Yeah, it's just the dowsing rod, the little kid next to me, and like, it felt like a movie that DreamWorks would do. And I don't know quite how to say that without being offensive.
No, I get it. DreamWorks is like...
DreamWorks is the king of the gimmicky character.
Yeah.
Like Olaf
Definitely.
from Frozen. Like that was definitely like, I was like, what the hell is this guy?
I don't even
Because
hate Olaf. In fact, I think the trolls in that movie are worse than Olaf, in my opinion.
But the trolls are in there for like 5 minutes. They have a segment where they sing, and that's the end of it. Like, you can have endearing side characters. Yeah. You have the entirety of Beauty and the Beast. All the silverware is endearing.
Genie from Aladdin.
Yeah, you have Genie from Aladdin, Apu from Aladdin, Iago from Aladdin. I would say none of those are like gimmicky, haha, let's make the children laugh characters, even though Robin Williams is sitting there dropping Hollywood references the whole time.
Yeah.
But you hate references.
I do. I really do hate pop culture references, but I would never talk negatively about Good Morning Vietnam and my buddy Robin Williams. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you know about this, but Robin Williams, like, he only agreed to do Aladdin with the stipulation that Disney only used him for like 25% of the advertising. And once they got him to sign it and did the movie, they're like, nah, and just like slapped him over everything. And since then, he had like a I'm not touching Disney until they apologize type of deal.
Well, they didn't.
Good, fuck Disney.
Disney?
That was. I don't think Hook is. Either Hook isn't Disney or it was before Aladdin. I can't remember.
Fuck
no,
you,
no,
Disney.
no. Wait, 1 sec. Hook movie. I gotta see this. No. Like, you guys talk about something in the background here. 1991, done by Steven Spielberg, Amblin Entertainment. Okay, so it's not Disney.
Okay. But I just want to ask, Moth, are you with me? Hook is a really good movie.
Hook is a good movie. Like, it's got Julia Roberts in it. It's got...
My only criticism
Julia
of that
Roberts
movie is the one scene where Tinkerbell is, like, big, and it's like, why? And I like the whole, like, subplot of her being in love with Peter. I think that's really cute and tragic. That's a really great movie, and, like, people kind of low-key shit on it.
Wait. Who was the main guy from Rocky Horror Picture Show? His name is just spacing me right now. He was the Cardinal from the original Three Musketeers. Like,
It depends on what you mean by main guy. Like, the nerdy guy?
Dr. Frankenfurter.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, wasn't he Hook?
No, he wasn't.
No way. No way. You cannot tell me that
No, I can.
Jim Sharman? No, Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry, that's the name. I was trying to remember Tim Curry's name.
You cannot tell me Tim Curry was not... Oh, no, it was Dustin Hoffman. How?
I don't know. He's very good, and I can hear a little bit of that in there.
Am I having a Mandela effect right now? Because like that was Tim Curry when I was a kid.
Oh, Lord, Moth just slipped into an alternate universe.
I did. I've been having so many Mandela effects lately that like I guess all like somewhat chubby actors from the 90s all look like Tim Curry or something.
Yes.
So
yeah,
dad bod actors are all Tim Curry. So far, we have two possible podcast titles.
All right, so but yeah, back to Toy Story because I'll nail this and be done with it. It wasn't. I felt no emotion during the movie, even the big ending where I swear the director was like, "I swear if you guys try to make us do another Disney or another Toy Story movie, it's not going to happen." Ha ha! Goodbye. Like
they all get melted down and made into like soda bottles.
Yeah, there was one thing that I was okay with, and what is it? Tim Allen plays Woody, or does Tim Allen play Buzz?
Woody Allen.
Okay, Woody Allen.
Or is it
gotcha.
Fuck. Well,
Yeah,
go
exactly.
Go on.
But in the Toy Story movies, since the very first Toy Story movie, Woody has always been a very selfish character. Mm-hmm. Like he has always been selfish. It always has to be about me first. Every decision I make, I say it's for my friends, but it is absolutely about me. And in Toy Story 4, we see him doing it again the whole movie. And I'm actually like, I'm just impressed that for 4 movies, this guy hasn't learned a single lesson. Like, everything he says is selfless, but you know the ulterior motives is I want a child to play with me. Like, and so I'm actually really happy that we have seen a character in 4 movies, and I'm not being facetious here. In 4 movies, he has not learned a single damn lesson at all. Like, I'm legitimately impressed. And even at the end of the movie, another spoiler alert for you guys here. The reason there's not going to be another Toy Story is Woody pisses off to be with Bo Peep. He goes away.
Wow.
He abandons his child to go be with Bo Peep. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And so, like, the fact that in 4 movies, this dude doesn't learn a lesson and decides to go away from a girl because he knows she's not going to play with him anymore. He's like, all right, she doesn't like me. She likes Jessie because she's a little girl. and he just pisses off. I love that.
That sounds like he is learning that he doesn't need to fucking keep depending on people.
No, it's just my only issue though after that, like, because there's not really a main villain. The main villain of the story turns out she's not evil. She's just, she never got a chance. There's not like a whole lot of conflict in this movie other than a fork didn't want to be a toy and keeps trying to kill himself. Like, that's the entire conflict.
That's the millennial character.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
But what's weird is I saw Buzz, and Buzz has this huge joke throughout the whole movie where where Woody explains what an internal voice is, and like your inside voice, your conscience. And Buzz thinks it's the speaker box built into him. So throughout the whole movie, he's pressing his chest and saying a random quote, like, look out, adventure on the roof, stuff like that. And he'll look up and you'll see some. But that didn't feel like Buzz for the fourth movie. That felt like the gag that they should have done with the second movie. Like, Buzz knows who he is. Buzz has had 3 movies to figure himself out, and now they're doing an inner voice in the 4th movie?
That's kind of the thing, though, with Buzz. Even Toy Story 3, they reset his character, because they always have to have a dumb Buzz gag, and it's always, I hate it. And don't get me wrong, I think that's funny, but if it was a reoccurring joke, like you said it is, I wouldn't think that was funny anymore.
Yeah, well, it's the 4th movie. Like, Buzz has figured himself out, and they show in the movie that he's figured himself out, and all of a sudden Woody's like, yeah, I have an inner voice, don't you? And suddenly Buzz starts questioning reality. A developed toy that knows exactly where he sits in the world is like, oh, wait a minute. What's an inner voice, Gary? I'm just like, oh my gosh. Alright, so Toy Story 4 is bad because it forces gimmicky characters. There's no real conflict. In fact, weirdly enough, even though the ending was underwhelming, I actually liked the ending because it not only subverted expectations, but it just showed how much of a selfish dick Woody is. Like, I like the ending. I'm glad the series is finally over, but I didn't feel any of the tension from the 3rd or 2nd movie. I didn't feel any of the magic from the 1st movie. Like, like I said, the guy who had good ideas, who's in the closet, was nowhere near the microphone, whereas the random crackhead who's like, what did really well for DreamWorks? Random jokes and creepy jokes and talking characters. Key and Peele. Let's get Key and Peele. Like, and then he did another line of cocaine.
But how much of that would you say is the annoyance of the bruh child?
No, actually, I've kind of always hated those obnoxious characters. Like, I really did hate Olaf in Frozen. You can do them well, like in the How to Train Your Dragon series with what's their name, Snotrock and Flintlock, the twins.
Yeah.
They did those annoying characters, and Jack Black, where Jack Black spends an entire movie trying to clap Hiccup's mom's cheeks. Like, you could do the obnoxious characters well. Like, you could do them well. In this movie, I would say the jokes that made me laugh the hardest in the movie was unfortunately done by Kay and Peele. But it doesn't justify their characters, like, at all. And that's the thing. Right next to these 2 fluffy psychopaths was a Canadian action figure that did the job of being the gimmicky character without pushing himself too hard, without being obnoxious.
I heard about that. It's the Canadian representation in the movie for You Frog. It's a Evel Knievel style character, and it's played by Keanu Reeves.
Woo! Was it really?
Yep.
What was
My lord?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember his name in the movie. I saw the movie and I didn't recognize that it was Keanu Reeves. Was his name like Beastly Leafy or something? Like, it was I actually think it was called like Captain Canuck. Like,
it probably was something like that. I haven't seen the movie. I want to reiterate. I actually 2 days ago listened to a really good podcast, and they talked about it. Yeah. I've been listening to us for like 2 weeks. What are you talking about? I listen to this podcast more than people who listen to this podcast.
I listen to this podcast like 3 times each too. I mean,
to give you like a little bit of hope. I haven't
listened to myself yet at all because that's how much I hate my own voice.
It's actually a surprisingly fun listen, if you ask me.
To give
but
you...
is that the Stockholm syndrome of realizing
Yes.
that you've now committed like 3 years of your life at least
been
to
like-
something that made
It's been 2 months. This is our 2-month anniversary.
Hey, I've already started writing the video where we all get on screen and say, we're no longer friends. That's T-minus 4 years from now. That's
The best friends video. That fucking broke my heart.
Oh my god! If you want, like, we can have that moment right now, and you both can tell me you haven't dropped fruits baskets yet, and I'll just leave.
Wait, what? Is that a continuous series? Are they going to keep doing that forever?
No.
Well, no, it's we hit episode 13, but I wouldn't know what it's about because I literally dropped as soon as the cow was introduced. I watched the cow episode and then just removed it from my queue.
You too? I didn't start that shit. I didn't even fucking touch it.
Only us do we have interest in any romance.
Not with a 10-foot pole.
Because Frog is an incel.
Yes.
I mean, I like romantic animes. Like, I was totally okay with Baka no Test and Toradora, but like, this was we already went over this. We buried fruits baskets, but it's Bishonen that is just as shameful and shite as like I almost said Shaman King. But High School DxD and stuff like that. Like
it is
it's
okay.
just-
No, like there are two. Like okay, here's the deal. I have dropped Fruits Basket, but it's
Okay, yeah,
but it's mostly it's not from like any real qualitative reasons. It's just because I've seen it before. I'll probably rewatch. I need to go and see what they've adapted so far. I'll probably watch the episode where the cat shit happens because I actually really like that. It's my favorite part of the whole story, and that's where I usually stop if I ever try to reread it. But like I'm right there with you. Like it's just it's an adaptation of an old series, and sometimes that can go really well, like Ushio and Tora,
or Dororo.
or Dororo. Yes, although Dororo is so unique that it's its own thing because it's practically a different show than the original anime or the original manga.
Okay, well, my issue, and this broke my heart having to drop fruits baskets. I didn't care about a single character. I still don't. Like I told you before, the only reason I watched it as a kid is because all my friends group was a bunch of yaoi obsessed girls, and that's literally who Fruits Basket is targeted towards, is yaoi obsessed girls. But I was kind of sad because she had those two really good friends, the Yankee girl and the
psychic girl.
Psycho. Yeah, like the psycho. She was insane. And I wanted to see them be happy, but I remember, like, I don't even know if they were in the original anime.
They were.
So,
They actually gave the friends a lot more focus in the new one, but yeah. They're like the highlight. The big highlight of the new Fruits Basket is just the production's really good, but that's not enough to keep me going.
Her two friends, you're not gonna see them develop as characters. Which, by the way, they are way more interesting than Toru. Like, her two friends
That's not hard.
That's true. They're better in every way, and yet they only show up for a crappy gag, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that was fun.
Yeah, no.
All right, Frog.
I'm definitely gone. Although I do want to say one thing, going back to Toy Story, just for one last second, because I want to give you a little bit of hope, Moth. After they, released Toy Story 4, they made an announcement that they are going to start working on no more sequels and start working on original works going forward.
Are you telling me I'm not going to get another Good Dinosaur sequel? Like,
if there was a god, we would, but there's no god in heaven. There's only fucking death awaiting us.
Hey man, I don't know about you, but I got Mormon Jesus backing me up. So
Mormon Jesus and magic underwear, Yahweh.
All right, so I don't want to take up too much time on the podcast. Frog, you were going to tell us why you're not allowed within 500 feet of an elementary school. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was like one time, dude. Like, but
one time is 3/5 of the law.
Yeah. So I don't know what's been going on with me. So I think I mentioned it like kind of passerby within like episode 1 or 2, but I didn't really go in depth with it. But I've been trying to, since the season was kind of slow for me, I didn't really watch that many shows. I tried to go back in time and get some, not necessarily classics, but just some things that I missed out on originally, right? Mm-hmm. So first it was Death Note. I finished that like about a month ago now, I think. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And then
Oh, surprise! The #1 headlining anime from Hot Topic appealed to you.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's just it's it's popular. It's like somebody who says like I don't like One Piece.
Yeah.
Or like somebody who's like I don't like Dragon Ball. Like they're lying. Like
That's not necessarily true.
You know,
I don't like Dragon Ball.
No,
Z.
you're allowed to not like popular things. That's fine. Like I do like One Piece and Dragon Ball, but like
But that's the thing. Like Death Note is appealing because the first act was written really well.
Yes.
And then the second act people only watched because they were hoping to recapture the magic of the first act, which they didn't. And you were left feeling empty and spiteful. And that's why all the t-shirts only have L or Light on them and not either the twins.
Yeah, no one cares about N.
Or Mellow.
Whatever the kid's name.
Mellow.
Oh, was
Mellow
it
and
N?
N.
Oh, okay.
Now the second half for sure was definitely a step down. I won't deny it. I think it was still enjoyable, but it was like after.
It was mostly enjoyable for like the wind up to the last episode, which is pretty great.
Oh, I love the finale actually. I think it's really good. Very satisfying.
I would define Death Note as it's like a Love Potion 69 from Baskin Robbins or whatever the hell that Baskin Robbins ice cream is. Where you're eating away at it, you're eating away at it, and you realize that you've eaten all the cherries and the chocolate and whatever the hell else they put in it. And so you're just now eating ice cream, and you're remembering in the back of your mind how good those cherries and those nuts or whatever the hell is in that ice cream is. And then you get to the very end when you're like scraping the bottom and drinking the syrup, and there's just one more piece of chocolate crammed into a cherry pit. And you're like, oh, this is what I did this for.
Yeah.
And then,
It's not even bad. It's not actually a pretty good analogy because like it's still good.
Say, that was like a perfect analogy.
It's still because it's still good. You're still enjoying it, but it's not like it's like there's stuff missing here.
Now, being quite honest, I actually dropped it 3 episodes into the second act, so I have no idea what happened.
That's fair. I don't.
You
actually
should
blame
go back
you.
and watch like the last.
I think you should finish at least
episodes.
skip to like the last 3 episodes. Yeah, just skip around there
because it's pretty satisfying. Actually.
It's got a great ending. So that happened. I'm not gonna go too in depth.
Mellow
that
are just terrible.
It's a bit old news for me now. I started.
Because Death Note's been talked to death.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure everyone has already heard about this.
Wait, what did I say?
You said
what?
No. You said Death Note's been talked to death, and I just said note.
Oh, I hate you. It's crazy how much I hate you.
I thought I had said like Death Watch or something by mistake, and I was like, no, it's just Mike.
Death March.
Being dumb. All right, got it.
No, so I started watching something people recommended to me, Parasite.
Nice.
It's okay so far. I got like I think 5 or 6 episodes in.
I will say I genuinely enjoyed Parasite. I think the whole time that anime was airing, I just wondered like what it would be like. And I know this is just such a left field, stupid like I gotta be funny joke, but like I was like, what if one of those things got stuck in your dick, and your dick is just talking to you the whole time?
That's the dream.
And the thing is, like, those things love to observe. Like, you see, you meet another character who failed to get infected in the series, and it's in his jaw, and they love to observe. So I'm just imagining, like, you're wearing, like, the shorts, like, your knee-length shorts, and the thing is just, like, growing a tendril and just hanging out of your pant leg the entire time. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you're in public, you're like, oh, I just stepped on my dick. And everybody thinks you're joking about it, and they all laugh. They're like, that's so funny. And you, like, go to the bathroom. There's just a footprint on the head of your dick.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
far
interesting.
Have you got into it so far?
About 5 or 6 episodes in. So very not far. But the concept is intriguing.
I will say...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Frog.
Okay. I mean, people like recommend it to me because I like body horror stuff, which I do. It's accurate. But it's not very graphic, and it's not that body horrific at all.
No, I was going to say the live action they did was way worse than that.
I would actually recommend, if at any point you're thinking about dropping it, I think the manga's better. 100%.
I would imagine so, right? Because it would make like the body horror look a lot more graphic. And
that scene, I think it's in the first episode where the husband who's infected and the wife's like, "Oh, would you like breakfast?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he just eats her head. It's way more like
I'll have to look that up.
It's really good in the manga. Like in the manga, there's less of the environmental aspect that comes in towards the later of the anime that I didn't care for.
I don't know about that yet.
I like the story a lot. I only watched like 2 episodes of the anime though.
Yeah.
I honestly, this you got to realize Parasite was one of the few animes that ended. Like even, and we can talk about this later. Shield Hero, which has just been putting around uselessly ever since Rastafaria saved her friend from the dungeon. Shield Hero was finished. The line novel is finished.
It took me a fucking minute to know what you're fucking talking about. Jesus Christ.
But like, the line novel's finished. Why didn't they commission a full anime? Why do I now have to go and either read the light novel or read the manga to see what happens? Parasite doesn't do that. Parasite's a rare gem that ended. The manga ends. Or the anime ends where the manga ended. It's over.
Looks like you have something to look forward to, Frog, and a conclusive story for once.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about that. Yeah, it's my friend who I'm watching it with, who recommends me most of my stuff. He said, like, this is just, it goes through the entire manga and then it's over. I'm like, oh, cool. That's more than most would say.
I will say, though, I guess Shield Hero did leave a lasting impression on me because, and the latest episode just aired like a day ago from when we were recording. So if you guys haven't seen it,
does that end or does it just keep going?
It ends with, we might do a second season, but this is a good stopping point. You feel good now.
I didn't feel good.
No, I don't feel good at all. But the ending is, it's like, it's dumb, the Shield Hero. I don't even know if this happened in the line novel, because I don't read. He gets a village, he rebuilds her village, and becomes the lord of the territory, so, he's set himself in a pretty good spot. And then he looks at Raftalia and he's like, I was thinking about going home for so long, but this is my home. I'm now the Shield Hero. I'm not accountant student like every Japanese college kid is.
Let's make some raccoons.
Well, like, here's the thing. I guess it had an effect on me because I had a dream literally last night where I was watching the scene again, and when he was talking to her, he just looked at her and said, I've decided to clap rack cheeks. And apparently I woke up laughing. Just like with how absurd it was.
Wait, he said that?
In my dream, yeah.
Okay. I got so I think I spaced out for like a half a second and I missed that crucial detail. And I thought you just meant in the anime subtitles it said I'm about to clap rap cheeks. And I fucking
no. In my dream, he looks at her. He looks at like Rostaman stand up and says, "I'm a clap rack cheeks."
like that
That's
one.
the dumbest shit. I love you so much, you precious being.
Like, out of all this, like, it was the first time in, like, 3 months I've gotten more than 5 hours of sleep, and so I haven't been dreaming lately, and that was my dream. Like, I was so mad. I woke up laughing, and then I was mad that was my dream, and went back to sleep.
I would have... Anyway... We interrupt your regularly scheduled podcast to bring you an urgent news bulletin. Due to cosmic background radiation, fucking Frog dropped his recording for like 2 minutes, but we didn't lose anything. Frog, so I have a recommendation for you. Have you ever watched or read anything called Gantz?
Oh, I've heard about this. It's got the same guy who made Inuyashiki, right?
I believe it is the same, at least, artist. I don't know if it's the same mangaka, like,
think
whole thing.
So.
But...
Is that the one where the main character dies and he kind of wakes up in a new world where he's got to fight now?
So the plot of the show is that people occasionally, in the moment that they die, get scanned by a computer called Gantz and get cloned. And... the clones have to fight alien invaders for their own freedom in a kind of game-style thing.
So it's Dead Man Wonderland. Gotcha.
But, more interesting. Although I will say this, it goes downhill really quickly. It's just, it's not even good, really. It's just, wild and crazy and gory.
And it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I was about to say, Gantz O is on Netflix. It is, it's a standalone section of the manga. I think it's the entire Osaka arc. Watch that. And if you like that, either read or watch Gantz, because the Osaka arc is the best part. And it'll even, the main character of the show is a fucking piece of shit. But if you watch just the Osaka arc, you'll be like, oh, he was like a great hero because he becomes a hero, but he's such a piece of shit in the beginning, so he's hard to watch unless you know he becomes a better character.
Yeah.
It's awful. But that shit is cash money when it comes to gore and shit. It's great. Like, there's weapons that will delete parts of people's bodies, and you'll just see fucking blood and viscera that are just there, and it's like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's great. And
I'm
then
intrigued conceptually, but I don't know. I've heard of a bunch of people that's not that good at all.
Let me sell you this on this really simply. There is a multiple chapter arc in which one of the characters decides to dress up in blackface and go on a mass shooting in a mall. Perfect.
Why?
I don't remember the reason.
I'm pretty sure it's blame the Black
Panthers.
Duh. They have a huge Black Panther problem in Japan, didn't you know?
Yeah, dude.
The reason is because I don't remember. It's been like 10 years since I read it, but like it was so wild when I was reading. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's a wild ride, and the places it goes is terrible in the most entertaining way possible. Like, it goes on like there. It ends with like an alien invasion of giants who like appear, and it's almost like Doom style, and they're just like picking up people and crunching them in their hands and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? It's entertaining. I'd recommend
so that's
it
kind
you.
of like the last episode of, what is it, like Blood Sea, where the whole town gets raided by giant killer bunnies.
I never watched that, and I want to, because I love the Chiropterans, and that's the goofiest version of them, because they got like, I've seen a clip of them like turning themselves into a blender and blending
throwing
up
people into them. Yeah, like,
oh my god.
No, it's Blood Sea probably has some of the better gore I've seen. Weirdly enough, I know this is not a very controversial opinion, but I think some of the best body horror I've seen has been from the Corpse Party OVAs that they did. Like,
I haven't watched those.
If we're talking like body horror, obviously When They Cry was really good, because there's just one scene where a girl puts a knife to the wall and just starts bouncing off of it with her neck.
Okay, I will never watch that, even though I know I should, and the reason is because it has the scene with the fingernails, and I can't do that, man.
Oh, you can't watch people. Oh man, you need to watch Kakiguri then,
or something else.
You need to.
Higurashi When They Cry is a story about characters that are stuck in a time loop, and each arc, the beginnings are all really similar, and then it goes downhill in different ways because it's based off of a visual novel.
It's based off of Groundhog Game by Bill Murray.
Yeah, and it's really fucked up, man. Like, I've seen shit, and it's like, this isn't a show for me. You might love it, Frog. You might love it.
I only know what I know about it thanks to like AMV Hell divided by 0 or something. Like, I don't actually know a damn thing about it.
You know what? We should all watch it for Halloween and then like vomit onto microphones.
I do appreciate the recommendation, but it's going to be hard to watch anything other than the 6 shows I have lined up for summertime. Because oh my god.
Well, Fire Force is coming out, and that's basically Bakugo is the main character, the anime. For like every character is Bakugo.
Man, that show looks like it's going to be class.
You know, I bought my wife the manga like 2 years ago, and she never read it. And I was a little bit butthurt about that. I was like, oh, I thought you'd like this, because, it's got Bakugo on the cover wearing a fireman's outfit. You like Bakugo, don't you? It's just how disconnected to my wife I am. It's sad. But, like, I bought it for her 2 years ago. She never read it, and then the manga started airing, and she, like, went out and bought herself the book. The first manga.
She probably likes the character Bakugo, not the power necessarily.
No, actually, she really the dynamic between Bakugo and Midoriya in Hero Academia is really good, and watching him interact with anybody who isn't Midoriya is even better. Yeah, because he has no good reason to be abusive to the other people. Like, he's got a good reason to be abusive to Midoriya because Midoriya's a dumb little bitch. Like,
I don't think he has a good reason. He's just an arrogant prick who hasn't given. Like, I like Bakugo. I like him. I do. I'm not calling him an arrogant prick as a negative. I think it's a really interesting aspect of his character that he has so much arrogance that he can't allow himself to be anything less than the best. And realizing that he can't be is a great part of his arc. I love it.
Wait, what?
realizing
was that in the anime?
Well, I don't know.
Pretty
Well,
much.
here's the thing. Like,
I'm not all the way caught up on the
read.
manga, man. I'm not all the way caught up on the manga.
Yeah, I mean, neither. I kind of dropped the manga after like Mafia time.
Well, I gotta say, even with his best friend, he has a rocky relationship, and he even takes him for granted. Like, it's hard for him.
Are we talking about the metal guy?
Hard boy.
Hard boy.
All
He's
right.
my favorite.
He's my favorite character too.
All right, I want you guys to go back and listen to everything I just said while describing that character.
No.
He has a rocky relationship with him. He takes him for granted. They go through some hard times together.
Oh, I hate you.
See, this is why I told you to open that goddamn bag of chips. Anyway, Frog, you said you were watching classics, so you watched Parasite. Do you have anything else planned to watch that isn't cringe?
Is Parasite cringe?
No, but apparently making rock
but Moth is.
Let's see. He has a list. Hold on, let me find it. My friend has a list he wants me to watch. Okay, so we went through two of these. Well, I'm going through the second one. So Death Note, Parasite, and the other two are Steins Gate and Toradora.
No. Here's what you do. You take Steins Gate and you replace it, and listen to me carefully. You replace it with Baka no Test.
I don't... Okay, I've watched all of Baka no Test, and I like Baka no Test. Don't replace Steins Gate with Baka no Test.
Steins Gate isn't even that good. Like, it's Steins Gate
it's
is conceptual.
The most... It is Frog. You will love Steins Gate.
Okay.
Steins Gate is the most overhyped anime I think I ever ended up watching. And weirdly enough, I enjoyed Steins Gate Zero, which is more depressing than Steins Gate. And it's just, I don't know. My wife ramped it up as a big anime. All of my friends growing up ramped up Steins Gate as a great anime. And I sat down and I finally forced myself to watch it maybe 9 months ago. And I was just bored. I was bored. I don't even have a good Moth take for it. That's how boring Steins Gate is. Like,
well, it's like it's not it's not.
The Japanese people can't do sci-fi. I'm going to tell you this right now. Like,
I don't agree. Like,
mangakas and visual novel writers can't do sci-fi because it always ends up becoming Final Fantasy X, where your dad is a giant whale god, and you're just dreaming.
See, I don't agree. I really like science fiction.
Does the second half of Gurren Lagann count as sci-fi?
No, it doesn't. It just counts as an angry man shaking his fist at every salary person he shares a train with.
I don't understand
Moth,
what you mean by the salary
That's
man
you.
thing.
It's not Gurren Lagann.
And why are you saying Gurren Lagann? It's not Black Lagoon. It's Gurren Lagoon. Wait, what? No, it's Gurren Lagann.
It's a fucking... They say Lagann in the Japanese dub, so like...
Gurren Lagoon.
It's a Gurren Lagann.
Where a small child gets abducted by a woman in a bikini.
I say
that uses
Gurren.
guns.
I say Gurren Lagann for the same reason that I call him Simone.
Holy crap,
Yeah,
Gurren
you
Lagann.
call him Simon. You don't call him Simon. Fuck that.
No, Gurren Lagoon is the same anime as Black Lagoon. It's about a stupid, useless human being who gets kidnapped by a woman who wears a bikini with giant guns. Holy shit. It's the same anime.
I'm confused. I never watched Black Lagoon.
I don't.
I've
never watched Black Lagoon.
Name one good Japanese sci-fi that didn't rely entirely upon like a sociology or like an observation of human nature. Japanese sci-fi.
That's part of science fiction.
Yeah, but we have aspects of sci-fi that expand more than just the observation of the human condition. We have stuff that's like, what if this equation happened? Like even Akira, which is a great animated masterpiece and everybody should watch it once in our life, is the entire premise can be summarized as what were to happen if we were to take a gifted child, lock him in a room, and beat him. And the answer is, it might shock you, he turns into a giant flesh mutant and explodes.
It's a good result.
I like when it comes to science fiction, the part of science fiction I love is the questions that makes you ask. Like my favorite science fiction movie of all time is probably Event Horizon. maybe.
Really?
Because
the first 40 minutes of it are great, and then it goes off the rails.
Yeah, that's kind of what makes it so great.
But it's not a good off the rails. It's holy crap. I can see the diamond that was here. The diamond that was sitting right in front of me, and they lobbed it into a black hole.
Would you consider the Thing remake from the set, not the new Thing? There's three Things. There's the old one, the remake
Kurt
that everyone
Russell.
loves.
That
and,
thing.
Yes.
No,
yes.
The Kurt Russell Thing is my favorite movie of all time. Yeah, and I would.
Yeah, because then if you consider that science fiction, that is my favorite science fiction movie of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I said that the Japanese don't do science fiction well, in and of the fact that every single one of their sci-fis seems to rely on the human condition to be a sci-fi.
That's not really a problem.
But then you go look at American sci-fis, and we ask more important questions, like, what were to happen if you were to take Arnold Schwarzenegger and stick him on Mars? Like, what were to happen? What would happen if you took Eddie Murphy and put him on Pluto? Like, you know,
the parasites are gushing out of my body as I am expanding here. What the fuck?
Are you talking about the fifth element or something? No, not the fifth element. What's it called? Total Recall, right?
Yeah. What would happen if you were to take Arnold Schwarzenegger and put him on Mars? Like, you know, we ask the real questions in our sci-fi.
Isn't that also kind of about human condition, though?
No, not at all.
No, Total Recall is just an action movie with a sci-fi frame.
I saw it like when I was a kid, so I don't remember much.
It's a good movie, but it's hardly a science fiction movie.
I remember seeing the remake, too, and that sucked ass.
Like, the worst thing about Total Recall is that it has a really great science fiction concept that it does nothing with.
How? What is the great scientific concept of that movie?
3 tits, Moth.
No. The idea of a future where capitalism has gone so far and the consumerism has gone so far that you can't afford to go on a vacation. So hey, come to our doctor's office and we'll implant a vacation in your head. That's a cool idea.
Capitalism bad is like almost as bad of a science fiction trope as government bad. Like, it's just
yeah, but that tropes aren't inherently bad.
Oh my gosh, you know, like I hate to admit it, but can we just all appreciate Guillermo del Toro and his ability to write amazing science fiction?
Third episode in a row you mentioned Guillermo del Toro
because he's an amazing director.
He's a really good director. The only science fiction thing he's done is Pacific Rim.
No, I would actually argue that Pan's Labyrinth is science fiction.
Why? I actually want to hear the reason for this.
Well, okay. Shit, I was hoping you'd actually just accept what I said and we can move on with it.
Fuck you.
Okay. So we understand generally science fiction is something that doesn't exist, could happen, that we actively let ourselves accept something that may not be real for the fact of entertainment, and it forces us to ask questions. That's pretty much a good way to look at science fiction. In Pan's Labyrinth, a little girl has found an interdimensional portal gun and is using it to access different and amazing worlds. It's just the setup for Rick and Morty. Like, it's literally just Rick and Morty with a little Nazi girl.
So, Moth, I gotta ask you, have you ever been a cattle farmer? Because that was a lot of bullshit.
Isn't it like the whole premise of science fiction? Like, I think, didn't Best Guy ever mention this during his Gurren video? Hey, wait, Gurren's a sci-fi. About, like, it's, consider blank or something? Or, like...
Yeah, consider blank. What if a little girl with an abusive father found a magical world to escape to that wasn't real?
That doesn't sound like science fiction, though. It sounds like...
No, that just sounds like every one of my
story.
neighbors growing up.
Yeah. Usually science fiction's like, what if, like, hydrogen was not that common or some shit? You know, like, something like that.
What if me mum was a toaster?
Like, what if you could create spontaneous energy and mass through the body of any being with DNA and shit?
Well, what's funny right now is I made this huge argument about the Japanese not being able to write science fiction because all they write about is the human condition. And for the life of me, the only movie that's been going through my mind for the last 10 minutes is Starship Troopers, which is very much just Human the Condition, the movie.
Human the Condition.
Okay, Starship Trooper isn't human condition. The movie. It's more or less rather it is a science fiction movie, but the main conceit of it is satirizing propaganda. Like
Okay.
That's the point of it. Just to give you like a good reason to have it in your mind to give you some ammunition for your point.
Well, no, it's bad because it's just I said this that all they can write about is the human condition, and the only sci-fi movies that have been bouncing in my damn brain are The Thing and Starship Troopers, which is all human condition. I guess I could say Jurassic Park. That was a good
stories.
sci-fi.
Yeah, I'll give you. Yeah, Jurassic Park's a sci-fi. I don't care for Jurassic Park personally, but it's an alright movie.
And I mean, Hellboy is technically science fiction.
No, go away.
No, Hellboy. This one I can defend. I couldn't defend Pan's Labyrinth. I can defend Hellboy.
Stop.
I also love anime.
It's fine. Hellboy's comics, and we all know comics are anime. Not that I've ever read a single Hellboy comic.
That's bullshit.
Dude,
You want to know?
You want to awesome.
know? You want to know the only like actual American comic I've ever read, other than like 2 chapters of Lobo and Blue Beetle?
The Clone Saga.
No, Tank Girl.
Oh.
I've read...
that's just because it has your type of girl in it.
Yeah, really. I've only read like 3 comics in my entire life from America, and that's Blue Beetle, Lobo, like the original arc where he dies, goes to hell, and they keep sending him back to Earth, and Tank Girl. That's it.
You know, it's funny you should bring up comics because I love comics. It's one of my favorite mediums. I've read countless comics, and lately I've been watching a content creator going through his backlogs. Have either of you ever heard of a Lynn Cara?
Don't think so.
Lynn Cara is
Wait, like it's
wait,
like hitting my brain a little bit.
Wait, was that the creator of Avatar?
No. Lynn Cara is a YouTube content creator. He's been making stuff for 10 years. He makes comic book reviews that have their own like little inner narrative that woves in there. The narrative is gobshite terrible, but like he loves it. He's really endearing. And he's also part of Channel Awesome, which was that guy with the glasses. Yeah.
I went ahead and looked this guy up based off of my understanding of his spelling, and I got Cagney Lynn Carter is an American pornographic actress and former stripper.
I hope he doesn't do porn. Jesus Christ.
Are you referring to Atop the Fourth Wall?
Yes, Atop the Fourth Wall.
I did not know who he was until just now, but now I know who he is.
Oh, he's got a fedora.
He does have a fedora.
Honestly, he's kind of like adorable in like how
but he's in the same,
obnoxious
he's in the same realm as like the nostalgia critic, which is honestly
that's the thing. I had it explained to me this way. Nostalgia critic is like he's narcissistic because he wants everyone to think he makes good things. Lynn Cara is narcissistic because he wants to make good things. So like he's really self-depreciating, and he'll make jokes about himself, and he's got like I've been watching a lot of his stuff recently, and he's making me honest laughs. I'm like, oh shit, I just laughed at Lynn Cara, the internet's lol cow, and there's tons of shit. Like he's the same age as me, even though he looks like he's fucking 40, and he's got like all kinds of shit you can find if you go to certain websites. Like he's got like trying to get a hold of some people to RP him, RP with him, ERP I should say, public records of that shit. Like it's amazing. And then there's this old comic, but all that I don't care about because like his content that he makes is entertaining, and that's the best thing you can say about a content creator, especially if they've been doing it for 10 years. Like he's actually really fun to watch, and I recommend the History of Power Rangers he did, which he's still working on because until he gets caught up to the current season, he's going to continue working on it. Like it's really fun. I like him a lot.
Does it require any reading on my part?
Nope, you can just literally, he will, like, the history of Power Rangers is just you listening to him recap of every season and then, like, reviewing it. It's really good.
I don't really get your obsession with not reading, Ma, considering you have to read subtitles on every fucking thing you watch anyway.
No. Like, just to give you an idea of how very little I care for reading, I got back into Final Fantasy XIV this weekend, and I've played it on and off for about 2 years. I have an astrologian that I haven't quite gotten up to where he needs to be yet. And if you asked me what the plot of Final Fantasy XIV is, I would just say a bunch of mercenaries are bad at their job. Because for the life of me, I have no idea. I haven't read a single cutscene. I haven't watched a single cutscene. I have no idea what's going on, like, at all.
Do you just know what your skills do because you try them out?
Yeah, I literally only know what my skills do because I try them out. Like, figuring out the difference between the diurnal and the nocturnal sect was a nightmare for me. I was like, this one makes my health go up over time. This one gives me a shield.
Alright, here's my hot take. Cutscenes are a shitty way of storytelling in video games.
I mean, Bayonetta was good. I watch all the Bayonetta cutscenes.
There can be good cutscenes, but there's better ways to do it anyway.
And I mean, Mad World had great cutscenes.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're going to try and make the case that a video game can only tell its story through diegetic cutscenes,
I never said it could only tell its story through. I'm just saying there's way better ways to do it.
Well, okay, but let me hit you with the inverse, okay? We got Elite Beat Agents, one of the greatest rhythm games, if not the greatest rhythm game of all time.
Okay.
True. All right?
Yeah,
that game tells its story during the songs. But you're not paying attention unless you set the game to easy mode, because you're too busy trying to, like, rapidly smash your DS screen with a stylus, praying to God you don't rub the screen raw by the time you're done doing YMCA.
Mm-hmm. I would prefer that, though, than, like, a cutscene that stops me from playing the game and I have to watch and read.
I would say cutscenes can have their place.
That's true. They can totally have a place if they're not. There should be complimentary rather than interruption, I guess, right? Like,
you want to hear what game has the worst cutscenes, in my opinion, that I've played in like the last 3 years?
Final Fantasy VII.
Xenoblade Chronicles, actually.
Oh God, yes.
It's funny because I finally got around to playing it because there's nothing to play on my Switch until Fire Emblem comes out. So I'm sitting here waiting for Waifu Emblem to come out. There's nothing to play on my Switch, and I'm like, all right, well, I got Xenoblade Chronicles, I guess. I feel like they literally went into an Irish pub and just said, "Who wants to be a voice actor?" Because
I like Xenoblade Chronicles too.
There's a boy who I think is supposed to be 15 years old who sounds like
Rex,
a 40-year-old Scotsman with smoker's lung. Like,
Rex is terrible.
And then
his English voice is bad.
There's a cat girl who's supposed to be like also 16, and she sounds like she's a 35-year-old Irish dairy farmer.
Don't you talk about Nia like that, you son of a bitch!
Like, I actually appreciate how bad the voice acting is, but I remember I was playing and I was grinding outside of town like a couple of days ago, and I was like, man, I haven't seen a cutscene in a while. I think I missed them. And then the cutscene started. And I was just like, oh wait, no, I don't miss the cutscenes at all. And I just immediately skipped it and went back to grinding. So,
See, I prefer narrative-driven video games.
No, because if you do that, you get Detroit Becomes Human and Heavy Rain, which the only reason to play those games is to see how many people you could kill while still getting a good ending.
I didn't say I liked walking simulators with QTEs. I said I like narrative-driven video games. Stuff like Final Fantasy and Metal Gear.
Are you kidding me? Final Fantasy is one of my favorite animes. I wouldn't call it a video game, though.
That's what I keep fucking saying. Read a book.
Anyway, the cutscene, the story beats in most of my favorite games, I view them as the reward to the gameplay. Just as you would have, say, like, for example, just today I beat Doom. That is a fantastic video game. Oh, yeah. Your reward for defeating the demons is your sense of accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And then you get to play it again on a harder difficulty setting.
Oh, yeah.
In like Final Fantasy, except for the older ones, because the older ones are more like Dungeons and Dragons, which they have their own appeal to them.
What are you talking about? Final Fantasy IV is nothing like Dungeons and Dragons, and that was a lot of a Westerner's first introduction to it.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy 1 or 2?
Well, yeah,
Or
of
3?
course, but those weren't the American games. Like, yeah, Final Fantasy 1 came out in America,
I'm
but
not
2 and
talking
3
about
were
the-
lost forever.
Moth, I'm not talking about the okay, 3 was actually the one we didn't get into the DS. Anyway, I'm not talking about the release order. I'm talking about the games themselves. Like, I don't, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the games. Like 1, 2, and 3 are very much D&D-esque, especially the first Final Fantasy runs on D&D logic even for its spells. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
very similar to Dragon Quest.
Yeah, but in more modern JRPGs, the story is the reward for the gameplay, much in the same way the sense of accomplishment in a game like Doom or another game like Devil May Cry. The sense of accomplishment is your reward. It's just different reward models. Like, and I totally get it if you prefer one over the other, but leave my Japanese animes alone.
You know, I can agree with you. I can say that sense of reward can be a cutscene, but your game has to have good characters for me to give a shit about the cutscenes. Like, let's take Persona 5, okay? All those characters are trash. They belong in a trash can. Every single one of them. Except for maybe your guardian, your legal guardian, and the cat. They all belong in a big-ass dumpster. Like, let's just put all those characters...
You like the cat?
We're gonna lose
I like
fans.
Morgana.
Huh.
I like Morgana. Morgana's great. And, you know, I kind of like Ruigi, but I can't bring myself to love Ruigi.
I'm more of a Gooigi guy.
Yeah.
I want to
Waluigi?
While I have this soapbox, I want to complain about fucking Ruigi, all right? Because I agree with you, except I like the painter boy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, because he's useless. He's a garbage character.
But that's the thing about
They're all
Persona
garbage
5.
characters.
And this is something this is what I'm gonna fucking say because it's something that pisses me off about Persona 5. So you know the big moment, and Frog doesn't give a fuck, and that's fine. Big moment whenever you defeat Kamoshida's dungeon, and it's all collapsing, and everyone gets out alive, and he chooses to sacrifice himself by doing his run, right? To try and I don't even remember the reason why he's running, but that's his big story moment in the story. Like he's running, and you're like, oh wow, but
you can run again, yay!
But that's the thing. Like you would only know that he broke his leg and didn't know wasn't able to run anymore if you did his side missions,
which you
if
couldn't
you didn't
have physically done up to that point.
Well, you could have, because I did do them, but. You would have to have seen his side content to understand his big narrative story moment. That is terrible writing. What the fuck? Your story should be contained and should involve all the characters, and if there's any extra knowledge that needs to be gained, it should be introduced in the story, not relegated to side content, so that we can, if we do everything, we'll care about the character, but if you don't do everything, well, I guess you won't care about him. I hate Persona 5 so much.
I would actually disagree with it. I actually really enjoy the fact that you have to go out and learn about content.
Having side shit, that's fine, and story
but then the side stuff
story
is
moments on the side
inconsequential.
stuff.
No, they did it right. The problem is they wrote 6 garbage characters that nobody cares about. Here's the thing. Persona 4G is probably my favorite JRPG, okay? Alright? Good characters. Well-written characters. Fun boss fights. Great game overall. It wasn't who could be the edgiest character on the planet. So I was super excited for Persona 5. Persona 5, great dungeons, great gameplay, much more evolved social life than you had in Persona 4. And yet Persona 4 is better because the characters aren't a bunch of wet napkins.
But that's the thing. Whenever I played through Persona 5, I did it in such a way that I got to see every single social link in my first playthrough. It was very fucking hard. I had to follow a fucking schedule. So I saw all the side content. I cared about all the characters. And I still think they're not the best because none of that Persona. The reason Persona 4 is better than Persona 5, Persona 3 is my favorite personally, but
which is trash. Persona 3 is garbage. Persona 3 is absolute garbage.
This is not the time and place.
Persona 3 is Persona 5. It's the same game. Let's see who can be the edgiest character.
Read
in
a
fact,
fucking
I'm
book,
so edgy.
Goddamn
Why is it?
troglodytes.
Moth, why is it that whenever you don't like two things, they're the same thing?
It's the exact same game. Persona 5 and Persona 3 are the exact same game. Except instead of climbing a tower, you're going down a sewer station. So if you flip the tower, you have the exact same layout.
So, Frog, I played through
It's so
Doom.
edgy. You shoot yourself in the head to summon monsters with
Doom.
a gun.
No, shut up, Mod. Now
That's
I'm getting into a
part
something I
of
can
the
talk
further
about.
narrative.
I'm getting
I'm
into
rubbing
something
my
I can talk
head.
about now. Doom is fucking amazing.
Doom is okay.
Okay.
It's here's the deal. I beat Doom like literally whenever you told me your Dungeons and Dragons were going to go longer. I decided, well, I only have one mission left in Doom, so I'll boot it up.
I mean, Doom's good, but it's no Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite just has a more engaging gameplay loop.
It has a much
I don't
more
see the
engaging
big deal about Doom.
storyline. The characters are all fleshed out.
Yeah, like it has
that's-
Keanu Reeves. Doom doesn't have Keanu Reeves.
That's true. That's true.
Check mark atheists. I said check mark instead of I hate myself. But yeah, Doom, it's not it's a fantastic game. The gameplay is great. But because I am more of a narrative person, I just wasn't drawn in like everyone else was.
Are you kidding me? It had an amazing narrative. It had a very complicated plot. It was very good science fiction.
They just didn't. They
It
didn't focus
didn't
on
have
it,
a-
and that's what's.
It did not. It did not
Wait.
have a complicated plot. It had.
How are you
complicated
saying
lore.
Event Horizon is your favorite movie, and yet you cannot see the intricate complexities of Doom?
It's not super complex, but it's not like super simple
No,
either.
I'm not saying it's simple. I'm saying that it wasn't. It didn't have a complex story. It had complex and interesting lore that you could pick up and decide to read if you wanted to. Which is, I'm surprised you were able to pick up on it, Moth,
that's-
considering you can't. But but like
You didn't
and
need to
some of
read
that stuff.
it. It played itself for you. You pick it
Some
up
of that-
and it plays it.
There are audio logs, I think. Yeah, actually. Are there
There's-
in the new one?
There are audio logs, but there's only the demon audio logs, and then there is. I don't think that's the audio logs, and the demon audio logs are really interesting when you find them all.
Oh, those
but
are fucking cool.
Yeah, like it's just
But,
it's
like-
mind blowing to me that you thought Event Horizon's one of the best sci-fi movies, but Doom
didn't say-
isn't, and it's the exact same movie, or it's the exact same thing.
I did not say I did not say Event Horizon was one of the best sci-fi movies. I said it was one of my favorites. B, I would agree that I absolutely my favorite aesthetic is supernatural horror in space. It's why Dead Space is like my favorite franchise, even though 3 is god awful.
Or what is it wasn't Equilibrium. What was the one where they went insane and they started like inbreeding in a spaceship that was stuck underwater?
Oh, that's a huge spoiler. It's Pandemonium.
Yeah, Pandemonium. Go see that movie. By
That
the
movie's
way,
amazing.
but yeah, no, like honestly, I like Doom. I don't know why it's getting so much credit. I mean, maybe it's because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in it, but sure.
Wait. You're talking about the Doom movie from fucking...
Yeah, absolutely. What are we talking about?
Fuck you.
We're talking about my slow and inevitable suicide. But like that's something I just kind of wanted to discuss with you, Frog, because
No,
going
I
into
understand.
it, you and Cy were like, yeah, great, and like everyone loves Doom.
Yeah, because
And
it's good.
it is good. It's a solid 8.5. Maybe edge it close to a 9 if I
So
thought
would you
about
say
it
it's like
more.
an 8.8 or an 8.9?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? The narrative, yeah, it's hard to pick up on your first time through, especially with like all the kind of do-it-yourself kind of research you have to do. But I don't find that to be a problem. I would.
Well, that's the thing. Like you were just talking about like cutscenes are a bad form of narrative in a video game. So is text logs.
I don't think so, because it makes it so that it doesn't. Because cutscenes are force-fed to you, while text logs are driven by inherent player interest.
Yeah. Actually, I gotta agree with him here. Here is my evidence on this one. Are you ready?
Mm.
The lusty Argonian maid.
Oh fuck!
I'm gonna admit some shameful knowledge, but Young me enjoyed those 2 volumes and hunted for a third, but it never was.
Is there no third one?
There's not a third in
maybe not on Oblivion, but like.
Oh, and in Skyrim there's a bunch, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more than 2. Fuck, I gotta play Skyrim again.
Skyrim's fun.
Dude, that game is the most arachnophobic nightmare for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick, and then we can talk about Dororo, so we can actually, like, keep to our name of being an anime-related podcast.
Yeah, we've been off anime for, like, 40 minutes.
We hate anime. We hate it. That means we can talk about it, or we cannot talk about it. We're good.
That's fair,
covered.
because last episode was entirely my fan fiction between Stephen King and David Tennant, like, making out, so we're good.
I would read that /fiction.
But it's weird. So, survival crafting games, way overdone. Way overdone. Conan Exiles is a lot of fun, and for the exact same reason that Ark isn't. And Conan Exiles is fun because I don't have to tame things. If I want to capture something to, like, turn into a warrior slave or something, I just drag it to a mill and tie its neck to the mill for 20 minutes, and I come back and get it, and I got a warrior for me. I don't have to train dinosaurs in the middle of nowhere.
Sounds like Minecraft with extra steps.
But are either of you arachnophobic?
I used to be as a kid. Now I just fucking scream when I see them and don't crisp my pants. Crisp my pants? Oh, fuck.
I
got over my fear of spiders, like,
I piss
when
holy
I started
water.
living alone and there was no one there to kill them for me. That's when I got over my fear of spiders.
If you guys go up right now while I'm telling the story and type in Sim Ant Spider Death into
Oh,
Google,
I know that. It's fucked up.
That is my arachnophobia right there. I was not afraid of spiders until I played that game as a kid.
That
and as
shit
a man,
is fucked up.
As a man who wanted to be a mermologist for like 5 years of my life, like
Is that the study of mermen?
no, it's the study of ants.
Like, it's... Oh, yeah, here we go. Like, you writhe in burning agony as the spider's deadly venom flows through your body. Like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, but it
sounds like a VR experience.
They animate its face while its like face is crunching you. It's got a flashing red and black background the whole time.
Yeah. This is not animated, but I know what you're talking about. But here's like the picture, Hayden, Mike. Oh god,
just send it in a private DM. Do not post it in our conversation.
I just put it in the chat. There you go.
Shit!
I'll delete it if you really want me to.
Yeah, please
Give me a second. Let me see it real quick.
That is like that is like the Super Nintendo version, though. That's not even the PC version.
I'll put it up on the video version, Mike.
It's like, that's cute.
I hate
It's
you
not
both.
cute. It's gross. No, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mom. That's disturbing.
Yeah.
Spiders are adorable.
So let me know when it's deleted from production chat.
It's gone.
You're lying to me.
I'm not.
It's gone. Spiders are cute though.
Okay, I pulled up the tab that shows like a small box of what's being seen, and it was still there. I was like, son of a bitch, he's lying.
So is that the reason you don't care for Spider Girls? Because you don't want
No, I
spiders
love
to touch
Spider
you?
Girls. They're my second favorite monster girl. It is the most confused erection I've ever had.
No, that's the thing, right? I love fucking fear. My dick loves fear.
Yeah, your dick loves fear.
Absolutely. That's why I fucking love the worst girl in MHA.
Like, Tokyo Gore Police, that scene where that chick grows a crocodile mouth for legs. I'm sitting there, like, wondering why I got a fear boner.
I found a thread of scary spiders in video games, and oh my fucking god.
That's not too bad.
I hate that one. That one's worse than the other one.
No, but in Conan Exiles, which in my opinion has the worst, I played the game when it was in beta, and some of the enemies wouldn't load in all the time. And they have giant spiders in that game. And so we were gathering silk, and what's terrible is they put the spiders in chest-high grass, so they run at you, and you don't see them until they're, like, knocking you down and poisoning you.
See, I'm not I'm not afraid of small spiders, but if you put anything with more than 4 legs and make it big, I'm not a big fan of that.
Well, my wife and I were playing it one day, and there's a cavern that you go to towards the beginning of the game where a giant spider is supposed to spawn, and you're supposed to be able to look down on it, and it's supposed to not be able to climb the wall that you're staring down from, but it's there and it's menacing, and it was back in beta. So my wife and I had cleared out all the spiders. I was like, maybe there's something in this pit. And I walked down into the pit, and they finally spawned the spider boss after I walk into the pit. And my camera just fills with a spider's face. And according to my wife, I've never shrieked so loud in my entire life. It was just this, like, girlish, tremorous, like... Yeah, it was... So, Yeah. Conan Exile's good. Back to anime Dororo. Speaking of spiders, Dororo.
Did you watch this, Frog?
No.
Dororo had a sexy-ass spider chick. In fact, there's just an episode you can watch with a spider monster girl in it.
Fun fact about that episode, it's anime only, and it's one of the best episodes.
It is anime only, and it is way better than any other episode. So, Frog, here's what you need to know about Dororo, okay?
Sword fists.
There's a man who is an amputee, who actually uses his disability to fight monsters.
Oh yeah, you're talking about this. It's just Sekiro.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Dororo, shadows die twice. I was saying that.
While protecting a small child.
Yeah, adds up.
Yep. And then they're trying to destroy this thing called the Dark Circus.
Not so add up.
What? Dark Circus? What subs are you reading?
He's
still taking the piss. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's Dororo, like, if you cut it down to its core levels, has a very similar plot to Kakegurui Circus, where an amputee is protecting a child, has a very brief love stint with a chick who gets stabbed a lot. Like,
if you fuck that one up?
No, I'm being dead serious. Like, it's so similar.
No, I mean, you said Kakegurui Circus.
Wait, what is it actually called?
It's Karakuri. You said Kakegurui, like the fucking shitty kaiju ripoff.
Karakuri is the Japanese word for puppet.
Kakegurui is a gift from God.
Oh boy.
And no, Kaiji's great. Nothing will ever
replace
Kaiji.
I mean, it's not fair to call it a kaiju ripoff because it's not at all the same as Kaiji at all. It's just gambling.
No, because Kaiji made sense.
Yeah.
This is just like, how can we cram as much Gesugao into a 20-minute block as physically possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of fetish works unless they're my fetish, and that's not one of them.
Gesugao is the best fetish.
More of that anime about the tights.
Attack on Titans?
Yeah, that's the one. Did anyone watch that? Did anyone watch any of that this season? I didn't even look at it.
I would say Dororo is an animation masterpiece. It's very good. It had very good characters. They took very one-dimensional characters from like mangas, because nobody can actually write. Mangas aren't good. Anime's good. But they took this horrible manga and turned it into a modern anime and improved on everything.
Moth, your only experience of the manga is what you've heard me talk about. Shut up.
Oh boy. I can't wait for you to say that about Kengan and for me to flip my shit at you.
I've told you guys the only manga I've ever actually like read and enjoyed, and even that one I didn't finish, was Sunken Rock.
Sunken? Oh yeah, you did read Sunken.
Yeah, because it's
Boichi can't write.
Boichi writes great. I mean,
listen, I love the man to death. He's like one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite artist in the manga sphere. But oh my god, he can't write.
Are you kidding me? The Zodiac War, amazing.
What? Wait. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, Juni Tyson?
Whoa. Okay, so...
Did I miss something here?
So, Boichi is a manga author and artist, mainly artist, who does the artwork for Dr. Stone, which looks fucking amazing. And also has... Sorry?
Didn't he do Monogatari as well? Bakemonogatari?
No fucking
You're
idea.
getting Nishio Isin. Like, if Maro was here, he'd be skinning you alive.
So he did Dr. Stone. He's doing Dr. Stone currently. He also did his own standalone manga that he wrote himself called Sunken Rock, and now I think he also just finished Origin recently-ish. And he also has like a couple other little small ones, and I think he used to be porn comics? I'm not sure.
Nice.
I could believe it, considering some of the women he designed for Sunken
Oh, dude,
Rock.
his women are super fucking, like, he draws them super old-ass anime style. Like,
where you can still see
the
their pubes under their
eyes.
skirts.
No, I mean, like, the humongous eyes. Like, they're huge.
Okay, so Dororo. Sorry, it's we got to get through Dororo at least before we end this episode.
Get your shit done.
It is very well done. It's very well animated. It has some of the best sword fighting I think I've seen since Zoro fought the giraffe on Ocean's 11.
It does have some pretty decent animation in spots.
No, there's actually a guy who's known for being like a master sword fight animator. Like, he does the best keyframes for sword fighting. He did like a ton of the sword fights in Dororo.
Dororo.
Yeah. Say what? Dororo.
I'm gonna kill myself now.
Yeah, that's why he was
Anyway.
followed around with that little ninja child who had the fist of the backwind attack.
Why can't we sue the Japanese for naming their anime stupid shit? Do ra ra ra, do ro ro, bo 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 bo.
Excuse you, King, fucking frog.
King.
It's bo 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 bo. It's not that fucking hard, okay?
It's not that hard to remember. It's bo 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 bo.
No. It's bo 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 bo. It's
Yeah,
bo bo.
It's bo 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 bo.
I'm having an aneurysm.
Okay, as much as we want to like crap on Japanese people for having like bad names for stuff, at least all of their names are like relatively unique. Like you go through the isekai genre, and you just get, you know, like
I don't think a plot synopsis is that unique.
That's what I was about to say. Oh wait, no, I remember this one because I committed it to memory because it was so amazing. Apparently, I can't get isekai powers by getting hit by a truck, so instead I decided to work with a cute girl. Is one title.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's about to get an anime. It's like, can you love your mother and her two?
Do you love your mother whose
attacks?
Do you love your overpowered mother whose attack is the same as 2 attacks at full power? Oh fuck me! I hate it so much. Why does it exist? Oh fuck! Oh, I'm gonna fucking die.
okay,
So I'm going to be watching that next season.
because we can't stay on a topic.
I'm not watching that shit. What are you talking about?
Dororo gets the Moth seal of approval as an anime.
Okay.
As a manga,
good.
it's trash.
It's okay. It's not. Fuck you! I wouldn't have spent $30 on the omnibus of it if I thought it was trash. It's one of my favorites.
You spent $30 because you have terrible taste and stuff. Like, you can go to your local card shop and go buy $30 of orc models for Warhammer 40k, but instead, you decide to buy a manga? Like, what is wrong with you?
If I was gonna go down to my local card shop, I would have just spent $30 on Yu-Gi-Oh.
I would actually love to have a fucking King and Asura like physical. That'd be fucking cool as shit, dude.
Like,
I could just
like
read
the
that
mangas?
shit. Yeah, dude.
There's mangas? I thought it was just a Netflix show that they wrote.
I fucking hate you. I've been.
Well, Komi-san got an official translation.
Oh,
so
are
maybe
we
King
going to
will
talk
too.
about the most overrated garbage anime in existence?
It's not
Listen
even an
here, you
anime.
fucking piece of shit. I know where you fucking sleep.
No.
I will fucking hunt you down. You will not talk about my goddamn daughter like that. She is perfect and pure. And if you continue on this tirade, this negativity that is inside of your soul, so help me God, the demons will not be able to feast on your flesh because there will be none left. Your bones will be nothing but rotting stones after I'm done with you. Do you understand? I
All
love
right.
my daughter, and so do you.
So what is that anime about the chick with the 7 head who teases a middle school boy?
What the fuck?
What?
There's like a chick with like a 5 head.
are you
Let me
talking
see
about?
here.
Oh,
Giant
Takagi-san.
4-head manga.
Takagi-san.
Takagi-san? What is that?
It's Takagi-san Loves to Tease, or I think that's the full name.
Oh, you mean the tiny like 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one about the girl who teases the boy and they're both in middle school all the time.
I don't know. I just feel guilty
cute.
whenever I see her on Senkaku.
On what?
I don't know what that is.
It's like an art guru for porn.
Okay, well, yeah, middle school girl, giant forehead, teases her best friend. Okay, I'm gonna compare that to Komi-san for a second, just so we're clear. This girl, giant forehead. There is legitimate character chemistry between them. You see stuff because one, that's written by a girl, which I'm pretty sure Komi-san is just written by a angry, lonely old man.
What?
But this other one,
What?
I don't know who writes Komi-san.
Okay, you're just assuming they're
Yeah,
angry. Okay.
I'm
I was like, what
imagining
the
it's a
fuck?
dude in his mid-30s who never got laid in middle school. Like, I don't know when you're supposed to get laid in Japan, but this lonely
When you turn
middle-aged
13.
this lonely middle-aged guy. Whereas we have Forehead Chan, great chemistry, clearly shows some of the things that like interact between guys and girls as they begin to understand each other. Great jokes, wonderful humor, a diversity of different gags. And then we got Komi-san. Komi-san's only defining trope is basically, haven't you heard I'm Sugimoto or Sakimoto, but less interesting. It's, hey, I'm a girl who can't talk good. And then
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just, I was listening to you and I was all like, what the fuck? And then I just remembered, You don't read manga, so what's the point of this conversation? Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. God damn it. Fuck you. Ah!
I was waiting for one of you to realize that I would have no practical knowledge of the actual
I didn't read
manga.
this shit. I don't care. I mean, I think I read like a couple chapters and I got bored because I don't care about romance.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm just gonna tell you right now. All it is, oh, look how cute this situation is between this like beta male and a girl who seems infatuated with him for some stupid reason.
It's not really. I mean,
that-
what I read, it wasn't infatuation. That she was just like, I want to make friends, and then she did, and
Yeah,
it was
that's-
like, okay.
You know,
That's the thing. The show
did it.
is
Congrats.
not even. The show becomes romance like stuff towards like the middle of the 200 chapters that are out now. Like it's just a show about a girl who wants to have friends. But Moth feels the need to inject like a turkey baster full of butter. He has to inject his takes straight into the meat of my fucking heart in the hopes that I die of a carotid artery.
Look, it's okay. So Komi-san, we had 2 animes this season that if you combine them together, you basically have Komi-san. You have Boichi Can't Make Friends, which is about a useless middle school girl who just goes
okay.
ooh-wee all the time.
Hitori.
Oh god, Mike won't stop posting the shit, and I hate it. It's so
And,
dumb.
So we got.
I haven't done it in forever.
So we got Boichi Can't Make Friends, and then we have the one about the girl who can't talk to people and can only draw on like poems. And if you combine those 2 animes, you have Komi-san, and you still are worse off for it.
I'm not trying to shit on it. I just don't care.
It's because Komi-san is bad. It's uninteresting.
You haven't read it.
It is the most beta male entertaining anime out there. Like,
This is a
if you
weak Moth take because you don't even have any legs to stand on in this case.
Do you think I have legs to stand on any of my opinions?
At least you have some. Like at least you've watched some of the shit you make takes about.
No, I haven't. Like Bakemonogatari, or what I like to call toothbrush incest. I know nothing about it.
It's not even Bakemonogatari that has the toothbrush incest in it. God damn it.
I don't fucking blame them for that. They all have the fucking same name. They're stupid. That's a dumb naming convention.
Actually, it's a pretty decent naming convention.
No,
Well,
no.
each fucking Monogatari tells a different fucking story.
What is a monogatari?
It means story.
Monogatari is Japanese.
Literally means story. And they just make puns out of the word story. How are you supposed to know what order you watch them in?
Exactly. I don't speak Japanese, man. Like, what's going on here?
I really wish Mara was here. Because I feel like I'm being attacked.
Oh, look, Bakemonogatari. Oh, it's a pun because it's this monster. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's about
pretty
a.
good pun.
It's about a.
Is it about
vampire.
monsters?
Yes.
Okay. What do I watch first? Like, what the? Is there one just called Monogatari? You just want to go tell a story? Like, what happens then?
Yeah, it's the entire anime.
You can-
It's actually a girl and a boy in a library talking to one another.
You could either watch like in chronological order or in release order, whichever one you like more comfortable.
Look,
with.
this is all you need to know about. It's called Renai Circulation, and that's it.
I can't forget.
That's
I can't believe
fair,
it's the
although
same
you
anime
don't-
as some other shit I've seen.
The cool thing about Bakemonogatari season 1 is that like the OP changes whenever the story focus
Oh, it's
changes.
JoJo.
Renai Circulation happens in like episode 6, and I'm just gonna go kill myself now.
JoJo's good.
JoJo is really good. I would actually go as far to say that JoJo is my favorite magical girl anime.
This is
I don't even.
breaking down.
I need fucking clarification.
Okay, go ahead.
What? Why?
Oh, because his mother knows Hammond, which is basically a magical power. Spice Girls is a stand. Magnetism is a stand. It's just magical girls.
What?
I don't get this take.
No, it's a magical girl anime.
There-
In fact, the main character, Joseph Joestar, is a girl. Let me find the picture for you.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even the main character in the second arc is a girl.
Your takes did here a lot. You're like, did someone like fucking forgot to calibrate you? Like,
I got
Moth hasn't been in for his monthly tune-up yet.
No, I haven't been in a bad mood lately. I actually got, like I said, I got like 6 hours of sleep for the first time in months, and I've been in a good mood lately. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you've been in a good mood. I've been.
That makes me happy.
Yeah,
I've been in a pretty good mood too.
I like how
I'm
when
glad.
I like how when I type in Joseph Joestar cross-dressing, all Bing says is, "Did you mean cute transvestites?"
Why are you on Bing?
Yes, Bing.
Because Google is a parasite.
Yes, but also why?
Because Bing is like, here's the thing. If you install a web browser, any web browser, and I use Brave web browser, by the way, but if you install a web browser, you only get like 5 default options for your search engine. I want to use Gibiru, which is a uncensored, untrackable search engine. It's great. But you can't. So the next best thing is just to use Bing, because Bing doesn't care. Like, you can literally type in real-life murder porn into Bing, and Bing will be like, here you go. Anything else I can get for you? You type that into Google, and Google's like, this is the national FBI's phone number. And you won't get any of the results you actually want. You'll just get some shitty Facebook pages.
This is true.
I mean, it's that you're not wrong, but also, why are you looking at murder porn?
I'm not looking it up. I'm saying if I wanted to, I would use Bing.
Moth the Snuff Man Manson.
Well, I think it was like back in 2013 when I realized that like Google was censoring everything, because I was looking up like Monster Girl Quest, like the trilogy.
Nice.
So
And
Bing
I
should
couldn't-
fucking like advertise. It's just like, if you're looking for murder porn, we won't
I
try.
guess.
I mean, if you're looking for murder porn, you're using Tor. Let's be honest here.
I don't know. I remember like the dark web was being built up to me a lot, like before I downloaded Tor and installed Tor and found some onion links and blah 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 blah. And for the most part, I would say 80% or more of the dark web is just a bunch of edgy teenagers who are like, hey guys, guess what? I made it onto Tor. And like, sure, I could probably buy some unmarked AR lower receivers on there, and I probably could human traffic on there because that's what it's made for. But at the end of the day, like, I don't want to do any of that, and so Tor is useless to me. Like, it's dumb.
Agreed.
I don't even know what Tor is. Is this like some weird adult shit
It's
that
Tor- it's the
boomers
dark
know
web.
about?
No,
Okay.
It's the dark web.
it's you're just giving me flashbacks to that fucking shitty teen, like that horror movie about like the kids whose computers get haunted by the dark web and shit. It's the dark web, bro.
Wait.
Unfriended?
Unfriended 2.
No, one sec. That's not it.
But Tor is a search engine that lets you access the dark web.
No, it was Stay Alive. That's what it is.
Say live. Oh, the
Stay
song
Alive.
by JC and the Sunshine Crew.
Yeah, but it was also the Frankie Muniz movie.
What did I just fucking blink into another existence again? What just happened?
I made a JC and the Sunshine Crew reference.
Yeah, and I was talking about Stay Alive, the movie where everyone's
Sunshine
game
Gang.
consoles got haunted.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know what that is. Ooh. Wait, don't you hate references? Why are you making references, Moth?
Because your point was so invalid, I had to burn it with a bad reference.
What was I making?
I don't remember. I was just looking up Frankie Muniz horror movies.
I just want to look up Frankie Muniz and see his smiling face because he's a sad adult actor.
I want to talk about
Actually, Frankie Muniz is pretty happy with his retirement. Like, he finished Malcolm in the Middle, he did a couple of uninspiring movies that paid him a couple million each, and then he pissed off to live off with $250 million in retirement money by, like, 23. I don't know where he lost there.
He lost because he was in Big Fat Liar.
And he made, like, $4 million on that movie. If somebody told me, hey, we'll give you $4 million and you get to keep all your TV show contracts to make an uninspiring movie, I'll absolutely do it. Hell, like, as much crap as we give the actors who are playing, like, the current Star Wars trilogy, like, tell me right now you wouldn't take their job in a heartbeat if you could.
Well, yeah, I would take any job that's not working at my shitty store.
No, but I mean Star Wars specifically. Like, who's the actor who plays TR-8R or whatever his name is?
I don't fucking know. You think I watched the new Star Wars movies?
I don't know, but
He
Finn.
hates women. Of course he hasn't seen Star Wars.
But no, like Finn, like everybody's kind of agreeing that he's kind of ruining the movies, as if like everybody's bad acting and bad directing wasn't ruining the movies in unison.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Tell me for a moment that you wouldn't do that if you could. Like, yeah, I absolutely want to destroy my favorite childhood franchise and make millions of dollars doing it. Hell yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, who cares, man?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
That's my take. Who cares, dude? The Star Wars sucks anyway.
Capitalism.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna take that back. Star Wars literally saved my life.
Star Wars is not even bad. I just don't care for it.
Moth is literally shaking right now.
I'm triggered right now. I'm gonna take you out back and beat you with a broom, son.
I don't dislike Star Wars. I just don't like Star Wars. It's like very neutral to me.
Look, man, you obviously have not been a child with very few video games to play, but you had Star Wars Pod Racer on your N64.
Now, what I had was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island on my fucking little DVD player in the car on the way over to fucking...
You know what, though? Like,
that movie's great.
That was the one with some sexy-ass monster girls in it, though.
That movie is fucking crazy good, and it's also scary, like, actually.
That's the one with the chili peppers, right?
Boom, boom.
No, it's the one where they're real. They're not fake monsters. They're real zombies.
It's the one where they go to the bayou and there's a zombie island.
Zombie Island.
That one's fucking scary.
No,
you're thinking of the one in Australia. I don't remember.
No. There's the one where the main villains are two girls, like, and they grow a bunch of like habaneros.
Wait, is it? I don't remember.
Zombie
it's been a
Island,
long time since I've seen Zombie Island. I watched it like a shit ton when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything about it other than that there were real zombies and that it was kind of scary.
Yeah,
well, then I guess we know what we're gonna be doing on the next podcast.
I think it's fun to watch.
Watching Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
Dude,
I've seen that movie so many times. That movie's actually still great.
Oh, I remember Alien Invaders too. That one was good too.
Yeah, no. Like, look, it's got the cat girls in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I'm sitting here asking, like, hey, this is the one with the habaneros, and this is the one with like the ghost peppers and everything. You guys are like, no. Like, no, this is the one.
I forgot they were like that, and they turned people into... No, they had voodoo dolls at some point, too.
Yeah.
I'm into superstition. I'm tired, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Took me a second.
Okay.
Well, are we going to talk about...
I think we were supposed to do a seasonal recap, but we don't have time. We spent an hour and 40 minutes talking about Doom and Scooby-Doo.
I mean, we didn't watch that much stuff this season, so...
So, Fruits Basket was trash, don't watch it. Any anime that can be summarized as a school-age girl does blank is trash, don't watch it.
Okay. This is how we'll do the seasonal recap, right? Because we didn't watch that much. We'll just each... Frog, you're disqualified because you didn't watch anything.
What the fuck? I've watched like everything you guys watched.
Demon Slayers was the second best anime this season.
Definitely.
I'll be with you. Well, hang on. Hold on, because AOT 3 came out, and that was also really good.
Attack on Titan, yeah. With the most recent episode of Attack on Titan, that shit was wild.
I think I like Attack on Titan more than Demon Slayer, but Demon Slayer is also very good, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So Sarah Zanmai was the best anime of the season.
Absolutely. I agree.
There's something... I have a Moth take about Sarah Zanmai, and I want to say it, okay?
Go ahead.
Sarah Zanmai... The story of Sarah Zanmai, the last episode, is Enter the Gungeon.
I've never even seen Enter the Gungeon, so
wait, what do you mean? I've played like 200 hours of Enter the Gungeon, and I don't get what you're talking about.
Well, the whole point of Enter the Gungeon is to get to the end of the Gungeon and get the gun that can kill
the
time.
past, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they say kill the past? I think they did say that. I think I said Gungeon at some point during it, but like that was it.
Yeah, so the whole last episode of Sarah Zanmai, he got the gun that can kill the past, and he's going around killing it.
I think I did say that actually when I was watching it with my friend too. I think I did say he was just like, "Oh, it's the gun that can kill the past, dude." That's not even a hot take. It's just a weird reference.
No, I just actually I will say right now that the last episode of Sarah Zanmai was actually very uninspiring. I liked the episode before it, and that was probably my favorite episode.
Oh, I see where you're coming from. I think it was a little bit weird. I thought the whole section of like them like playing soccer in the future or something like that was kind of strange.
I love that section. I adore that section.
I thought it was a little forced and kind of like we're being real deep right now.
No, it wasn't even all that deep. It was just showing that, like, the shit they're going through right now is crazy and wild and shit, but here's what their future could look like, and they could, even though they want to connect, they could still disconnect, and it's showing that despite the fact that they're seeing that, they still want to connect. It's like, it's not even really that deep, it's just like, yeah, it's nice.
I don't know, just the way it was presented seemed a little bit pretentious, but that's just me.
No, I like how the ending felt very real, where it turns out if you murder people, you go to prison.
That was great, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit.
That reminds me of the ending of, well, I don't want to spoil it. That's kind of a spoiler, never mind.
That reminds me of the ending of Attack on Titan when Eren just pulls out a gun.
Yeah, he just pulls out a gun, yeah. No, I would say the last episode was really, really good. The episode before it, though, was the best. Just watching Rio and his buddy, like...
Yeah, that was really fucking great, yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, but, like, at the season finale had another moment of theirs, and I think that moment was better than the previous episode.
No, I would say the episode right before... The second to last episode was the best episode.
I'm a little conflicted on both of them. They're both really good.
Yeah, but I will say with absolute certainty that Rio turning into a Kappa one last time was,
absolutely. It was
best.
fucking awesome. I love that moment.
And the ending was good and it was conclusive, but I didn't love the last episode. I was mostly okay with it.
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought the last episode was a little on the... Like, it didn't, like... It didn't have a oomph factor to it, but I didn't think it was, like... not upsetting. What's the word? I didn't think it was lacking. It just didn't have the zhuzh that a lot of the rest of the show had.
Here's a criticism I would throw at it is, what the fuck is the point of, what's her name, Sarah? Is her name Sarah?
Oh, you're
Dish
talking
girl.
about the...
Oh, Dishu!
She's literally pointless until the end.
No, she's the princess of the
Yeah,
Kappa.
but that's pointless until the end.
I mean, I thought it was really obvious.
I know it is, but it is obvious, but it's also pointless. Like, what's the point of her being there? She's just kind of there. Here's the thing, she's useful in the, fucking Haruka plot, like the little brother. And I love that.
By the way,
if you want to look...
Was he able to walk again at the end? Like,
No.
it looked like he was walking.
Did he appear? I don't think.
Yeah, he appeared on the TV screen, bouncing up and down like a happy little frog.
I want to look that up now.
Yeah, at the very end of the show, he's on the big screen TV. He's the new idol, and he's like, "I'm a happy
frog."
No,
I don't think
that's
that's the same person.
That's the girl.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
that's
girl.
him.
No, it's
That's his
not.
brother.
They haven't
his
aged
brother.
at all. That is not.
They have
the
aged.
case.
It's been
Did they age?
5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm
aged
looking
5
this
years,
up.
and the little
But that's
brother
not
is an
him.
idol.
I'm looking
That's
this
not
up.
him.
That's not him.
That is him.
That's not.
It's a little
him.
girl.
I'm looking this up right.
That's not a little girl. That's his brother. His brother just looks like a little girl.
No, hang on. I'm looking.
I mean, fair. His brother does look
looking.
like a little girl.
How far is
I
it
thought
again?
in the first episode, whenever they like ended it and showed that him and in the bed, I was like, "Oh man, he's got a little sister." In this next episode, it's like,
you know
this
what?
is my brother.
I'm gonna pull it up right now too because I can't believe you guys
I'm looking
aren't
right
trusting
now. Is
on
it
this
before
one.
or after the jail section?
It's after the jail section at the very end. I think it's like actually even post credits. Let's see here.
I'm
pulling it
looking
up
right now.
It is post credits because the entire jail montage is
It's the credits, yeah.
There he goes. 1909. That's his little brother.
I'm looking. 1909? That is not! Are you kidding?
That is his little brother.
No, it's not!
Yes, his little brother got his legs back with a dish of hope.
The dish of hope, they disappeared! Look, I'm putting this in chat. That does not look like his little brother at all!
That's his little brother.
That is not his little brother.
This
The
is
eye color is
Asakusa.
different.
Asaska is not his name.
Yeah, that was his name, Asaska Croquette.
His name is Haruka. Haruko? I don't remember.
Well, Asaska's just an anagram for Haruko.
That's not what that does. Or, do you know what? No, I hate you.
And this has been the We Hate Anime podcast.
I do wish we did
the only
see Haruka
podcast
in the
that
end.
wastes all of our time.
All right, so end of story. Watch Demon Slayer. Watch Sarazan Might. Don't watch any of the high school animes from this season.
Do watch Why Are You Here, Sensei, though, because I
No,
did
do
finish
not
that
watch
show.
Why Are You Here, Sensei.
Yes, watch it. It's wholesome when it's not being smut.
There's nothing but smut. I turned on episode 7, and it's just a teacher like humping a kid in a cave.
That's every episode though.
Like, okay, there we go. Don't watch smut.
Follow me on Twitter at AndyMikeru. If you want to send us an email, you can send it at askwehateanime gmail.com. That's askwehateanime@gmail.com. Frog, do you have anything you want to plug?
Just my normal Twitch and Twitter, FR0GK1NG, Frog King. Follow me there and call me gay.
Gay.
Thanks.
All right, well then we'll see you guys next week.
Go Minnow, sorry everybody.
I think we'll talk about the summer season finally. Ooh.
Oh yeah, Frog's getting old harder for that. Bye-bye.